See, I hear what you're saying. See, but that's what my problem is. It's like one or the other, you know?
Welcome back to the Chris Baxter Show after a very long hiatus. The last time you heard from me and my compadre, Cole Miner, was back in NFL playoff season. By the way, picked the rest of them right, although I did pick the Niners, so we ended up with 2 incorrect choices in our playoff games, which actually still we did better than ESPN and NFL. So.
Yeah, we're taking over.
Slowly, very slowly. Like if there was a hare, we're a snail, and
where are you going with this?
Nowhere. But anyway, in local news tonight, Clintonville. I almost said Red Granite. Clintonville. Same thing. Small hick towns. Clintonville is still suffering earthquakes. Now official explanation is granite earthquakes. We know this to be malarkey.
Yeah.
They've been experiencing loud booms at night, and I guess the earth has been trembling. It showed up on the Richter scale as 1.7 for the last 3 nights now. This is interesting as far as I'm concerned, and if I was the citizens of Clintonville, I would be evacuating. This could be a natural gas line pocket that could explode. There could be a river system that's going to cave in that could cause a sinkhole. The fact that they finally have geologists saying it's earthquakes after they ruled these out several times just doesn't make sense to me.
Cover up.
Yeah, well, mass panic. If it is something that could be, harmful to the citizens, you don't want people freaking out. I find the explanation interesting, especially since I guess booms and rumbling have been felt in other cities in Wisconsin. And this follows up an earthquake that hit Mexico and another one over in Asia yesterday. So, end of the world, I don't know. We've got a couple ideas of what it could be, and Cole, let's start with your theories.
Well, my first theory is that it's the Loch Ness Monster coming over.
In Clintonville?
Yep.
Underground?
Yep. Underground sewers. No.
What's your other theory? Let's move on from that one. I'll leave that to...
Aliens. Underground. They've been here forever. Waiting for this exact moment to strike.
I saw this, and it was called War of the Worlds.
Nope. Never seen it.
I don't think Clintonville has Tom Cruise.
I heard he visited.
Okay, well then it's completely plausible.
Yep.
My theories, of course, make a lot more sense. I've already talked about the gas lines, and I've already talked about the sinkhole possibility.
Rubbish.
But the most plausible one, and I think we can all agree with it, would be robot moles. People. Robot mole people.
That's better than the Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
So it's the Loch Ness Monster.
Moles live underground.
Robot moles.
Robots exist. Moles exist.
And
people exist.
And they just decided to fuse robots and moles.
No, they have been there forever. And now they're back for revenge.
Revenge for what?
For the Irish coal miners.
Don't even say coal miners. Say coal miners.
It's your fault. Your fault. They're coming for you. If we
I'm their leader.
Look, people. If we sacrifice coal, we can free ourselves from this robot mole person invasion.
It's only the people in Clintonville that are worried. They're not coming for you.
In other news, Newt Gingrich refuses to drop out of the race for the Republican primaries. This is retarded. I'm sorry, Newt, but you're not getting the nomination. If you truly don't want to see Romney be the nominee, you would drop out so those votes would go to Rick Santorum. And it's not that I dislike Newt. I think he's very intelligent, and I actually do not have a problem with... Actually, I have a lot of problems with this guy, but my main problem is his lineage. And let me explain what I mean by that. Well understood by this point that Newt Gingrich has been tad flirtatious in his life. But my main issue with his family is possibly who his relatives are. Exhibit A, Newt Gingrich. I think enough of us know the history on him, but I think he's got a little bit of a likeness to this man, Exhibit B, Wade Phillips. Uncanny resemblance, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And if you're like me and think Jerry Jones is a douche, the last thing you want is Wade Phillips in the White House. Possibly even more disturbing, Exhibit C, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Now, I don't know if it's possible or impossible for Newt Gingrich to be related to this gigantic monstrosity of sugar. But if he is, do you want him in the White House? And if so, who's going to control him? I mean, sure, we could call the Ghostbusters, but as far as I know, Bill Murray's a conservative, so we may be out of our luck as far as stopping this gelatinous creature from wiping out our cities. And that's my main point of why Newt Gingrich not only needs to be dropped out of the race, but possibly placed in a giant microwave just for kicks. We'll be right back with WWE News. We're back, and we're here to talk about WrestleMania, which is on
Sunday?
No, next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
And I'm not going to add up how many days that is, but it's coming up soon. We've obviously... What?
It'd be 9.
Be 9 days. Well, we got a math magician over here or something.
Amro High School.
Amro High School. Hi. We've got The Rock versus John Cena. I don't think I need to talk about that match too much. That's Cole's boy. Who do you think? Who do you got in this match? Rock or John Cena?
Cena.
Me too. Unless, of course, they do the best of 3, then I can see Rock winning in his hometown, and then maybe one at SummerSlam, and then one at Mania. But I'm gonna go with that as well. We've also got the 6-on-6 each tag team match. Each general manager will be choosing their own team, with the winner going on to controlling both shows. John Laurinaitis is going to win this. I think Teddy has been there long enough, and he may even get to the Hall of Fame at some point. I'm not a huge fan, but he's been serving the job as general manager, both Raw and SmackDown, over the years, and he's done an admirable job. But
I had to throw it in there.
But it's time for John Laurinaitis to take over both shows. I think both shows will do better with a heel general manager. It just makes more sense. The interesting thing on here, of course, sorry, I got something in my eye, and it is itching like crazy. But the interesting thing about this match is that Christian was promised a World Heavyweight title match. Just one more match if they win this. And that would mean that Christian would be thrown back in the World Heavyweight Championship picture. We've got Sheamus and Daniel Bryan feuding at WrestleMania, so it looks like regardless of who wins that match, we'll be looking at a triple threat at the following pay-per-view. If Sheamus wins, then Daniel Bryan will just use his rematch clause, and if Daniel Bryan wins, then Sheamus will have to be in the match regardless, because you can't have a heel versus heel, and I don't see Christian turning face, regardless of the fact that Edge is going into the Hall of Fame.
I'm excited for that.
I am. Edge going into the Hall of Fame. That's great news. Cool. It is going to be cool. By the way, the Hall of Fame ceremony will be on the Monday Night Raw, 1 hour before the Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania. So if you want to catch that, turn into the USA Network at 7 p.m. Central Time. And for anyone else who's not in Central...
That's all you gotta say.
So that's good news. We've got Kane versus Randy Orton. That looks like to be a good match, although the feud seems to be like it was thrown together kind of last minute, and the interactions between the two have been kind of weird. Like, they had Randy Orton cut a promo on Raw, and Kane wasn't involved, and Kane had a match with Big Show, and Randy Orton wasn't involved. If you want to get people interested in the feud, you kind of have to
have both of them involved.
Yeah, I mean...
Doesn't really make sense to me.
Yep. Randomly coming out and RKOing and chokeslamming each other only does so much.
Yeah.
We've also got the women's match, which is going to be Menunez. What is her name? She's from
Menunez, something like that.
Sorry, I don't watch Entertainment Weekly.
Don't care.
Yeah, she is. I don't know, Jorge. Jorge Menunez. I'm not a doctor, but she'll be teaming with Kelly Kelly against Beth Phoenix. Hey, and Eve. Ooh. So that'll be a terrible match as well. I wish they would have done a match with Karma, but as we know, Karma lost her child, blah 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 blah, Crimea River. So apparently she will not be at WrestleMania. But honestly, karma take all the time you need. Obviously, that's a tough situation to be in. We've also got the Intercontinental Championship match, where it'll be Cody Rhodes and the Big Show. I think Cody Rhodes retains. I can't see the Big Show as the Intercontinental Champion.
I don't see that match as too great of a match.
I think it'll be interesting. I like Cody. I like Show. They've done a good job of keeping them away from each other so that when Big Show finally gets his hands on Cody Rhodes, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're at least booking that match correctly. Of course, we've got CM Punk and Chris Jericho. I think CM Punk retains. Though he could lose because the next pay-per-view will be in Chicago, so they could see him chasing Jericho, win it back in Chicago the following month.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing a match, and if I am, I'm sorry.
I don't think you are.
I don't think I am. So good. We'll be also seeing Alberto Del Rio and Christian returning to action for the first time since their injuries at WrestleMania, so that'll be a treat. And I'm sure they'll have some Hall of Fame induction platforms set up for the guys going in. Yokozuna was just announced to go in. Ron Simmons will be going in. So it should overall be... forgot!
Didn't you get to see Christian live for the first time?
I did get to see Christian live. I'll get to that in a second. But we completely forgot about Triple H, The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, with Shawn Michaels guest referees. Oopsies!
Pretty important match.
Yeah, I don't know about that. These guys have combined to be in Hell in a Cell matches 19 times out of the 26 that have happened. By the way, I configured those numbers long before WWE put them on Monday Night Raw. We just have not done a show. You probably don't believe me. Don't care if you do. But, yeah, I figured those out the other day. And so, kind of a cool thing. No.
Alright.
So anyway, that should be a good match. Obviously, Taker's going to win, but it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good match. And I thought Taker was going to retire after this WrestleMania. I no longer consider it. I think the dude's actually going to put in a couple more years.
I don't know if he'll be able to walk away from this one, though. He could barely even move after the last one. He'll put it all on the line.
Cole doesn't know wrestling's fake. Let's just keep that for a moment. Yeah, Cole, you're right. The Undertaker, I don't know. He barely walked away. Is he even going to survive? Hell in a Cell. We did go to Elimination Chamber in Milwaukee, or at least I did, and I really enjoyed this show. It wasn't the best production. Santino went crazy in the chamber. The crowd was hot for him. Got to see Christian for the very first time live. That was a treat. The ambulance match was, well, many of you guys are wrestling fans. You know how it was. Obviously, Kane beat on Cena for a while, and then John Cena went Super Cena. It happens. But he needed to go over. He needed to beat Kane to set himself up for WrestleMania, so I have no complaints with that. All in all, it looks like WrestleMania is going to be a solid show. Maybe the best WrestleMania since 23. Although there is a lot of respect I'll give to 25. That was a really good show as well. And I was at 23, so I'm looking forward to WrestleMania 28, and hopefully it doesn't disappoint. We'll be right back with sports. Tim Tebow going to the New York Jets. It's on the other side. I keep forgetting about that. Peyton Manning is a Bronco, and Sean Payton